The objective of this video is to go a little bit more in depth in what I believe it takes to in game planning and the things that I think are very, very important and what we've tried to stress here with the Baltimore Ravens. The topic of the video is winning with the 3 T's, and I think that's an excellent study. It's a quick fix in being tackling, takeaways, and third down, which I think are the key to playing great defense at any level of football, whether it be from youth football all the way through to the NFL, that we have to be able to excel at the 3 T's. The Baltimore Ravens defensive philosophy is based on 3 things. It's based on athletic ability, number 1, be able to think, and lastly, the competitiveness. In athletic ability, we're looking for somebody who has great knee bend, flexibility, can play with his pads down, and has a great ability to stay on his feet. That's the most important part of everything I think we do, is our ability to look to athletes who have the ability to stay on their feet. Size, speed, and all of those things are great components, but to play great defense, you've got to be able to stay on your feet in order to get to the football and make tackles. And that's the number 1 thing we're looking for as we evaluate people for our defensive football team. The next thing is being able to think. The ability to retain knowledge, to react, and to make adjustments and changes within the flow of a game, the flow of a play, when they come off the field, after a series, at halftime, etc., on down the line. We've got to have the ability to retain knowledge and make a adjustment in the way the thinking, the coaching, and so forth, and be able to take that adjustment, take it on the field, and implement it. And so that's very, very important. And the last thing is competitiveness. This is the one thing that everybody is born with so much of. We're looking to people that are very, very competitive. They have a zest. They strive to be the best, and I think that's very important that we look for football players. You look for football players to play defense that are very, very competitive, and they always have the zest to be the very, very best. And what comes from that is their ability to chase the football and to be relentless, because it doesn't take athletic ability to chase the football and be relentless, and those are the things that are important to us in Baltimore. As we look at these guys, our priorities are going to be, we need to have cover corners. I think it's very important in your defensive scheme and what we want to do defensively here, that we have the ability to go out and find corners that can play great man-to-man defense. And that's something that's very, very important to us, is to have the cover corners. They have to have the mental aptitude to adjust man, zone, cloud, squat, whatever they're doing, 1/3, man-to-man, etc., on down the line, and to be good with their techniques. We need to have playmakers. You have to have people that have an intrinsic ability to make football plays. And it doesn't have to always be the biggest, the fastest guy, but the guy that sincerely is a great football player, and he can make football plays when you need him. And I think you need to have pass rushers. So to go back again there, we want to have people that are very, very good playmakers. We want to have the cover corners, and we want to have people that can rush the passer. The ability to rush the passer in the football game is key. To put pressure on the quarterback at all times and to pressure that football, that's a key element in what you're trying to do on defense. By pressuring the football, it goes into a lot of different connotations. And again, that probably starts as the foundation of our defense, is our ability to pressure the football. We want to be able to stop the run and turn it into, as quick as possible, turn it into a one-dimensional game, and then pressuring the football again, now try to knock that quarterback onto his back and try and keep pressure on the quarterback at all times. In order to pressure the football, we've got to have the great ability to be some flexibility in our defensive. We have to have great gap control and run control responsibility. Guys have to know force and leverage in everything we do. You have to be very, very sound. We don't have to be very complicated. We want to be very, very sound and simple in our connotation of what it takes to play great gap control defense and pressure the run, whether it be with a zone pressure or man-to-man pressure, but get after the football at the point of attack with pressure at all times. By pressuring the football again, now we turn into a one-dimensional game of now that passing game, which then comes into being able to knock the quarterback down. We have to be able to apply pressure, keep the quarterback confused, and we don't want him to go back and allow him to throw the football on rhythm. And we want to do the best job we can to disrupt that rhythm by disrupting both the receiver routes, and reading the progression and applying pressure that way. The next element that I think we really strive to be very and improve at is red zone defense. Our goal defensively is none other than to keep the offense from scoring. And if they get the football down into that red zone area, now the field is reduced and you come back with a little bit of defensive advantage. And we want to do a great job of understanding the offense's attack in the red zone and do the best job we can of getting off the field and minimize their score, whether it be no points, field goal, whatever it may be. Minimize the offense's attack in the red zone, eliminate the scoring, and get off the field as quick as we can. By doing that, all right, we've prevented the score and given our offense a chance to stay in the football game. And then the very last component that you got to be good at is you want to eliminate explosive plays. Because if we played our tail off up and down the field, we've done everything else asked of us, and we do a great job in the red zone, we don't want to have an explosive play be why we get beat in a football game. And so we want to do a very good job of eliminating explosive plays. In order to do these things, I think the three components that I began to talk about as we started, the 3 T's, are tackling, third down, and takeaways. We want to do an excellent job of repetitively coaching our players in great fundamental tackling techniques. We want to critique tackling as we do thud drills and making sure we're finishing with great body position, head up, knee bent, and finish with the feet, eyes, and hips. Everything we do, even though it's stud, so that we become a great tackling football team. We want to do a great job of third down, understanding what the offense is about on third down, what our goal is, what we have to do to stop the offense. It takes a little bit of flexibility on third down. You have to present different defensive schematics in order to attack different offensive teams, and you want to make sure that your players have a great understanding of what you're going to do on third down, which we'll get into a little bit later. And then the last T is takeaways, and probably the second most important. Our goal defensively, again, simply stated, get the ball back for the offense as quick as possible without the other team scoring. So by taking the football away, we eliminate some of those third down times we're out there on the field. We eliminate our exposure to explosive plays. So doing a great job of teaching your players how to strip the football, how to take the extra step in interceptions, to get the tip passes, and everything you need to do in order to take the football away. These things all go hand in hand as the 3 T's. I believe these are 3 most important elements of playing great defense. There are 3 areas that you can excel at with limited athletic ability on the field, and you want to limit your exposures. The thing that we really stress with our players is take the extra step. And I kind of already alluded a little bit to that, whether it's on the tackling, take the extra step, squeezing the green away from the ball carrier, whether it's on third down, take the extra step, get there at the disruption point, take the extra step on your pass rush, take the extra step on block protection, and whether it's taking the football away, take the extra step stripping the football, taking the extra step going for the interception. Those things, taking the extra step, is a key point and a nice catchy phrase that you can use with your players. Again, these 3 things don't always address overall athletic ability, but they refer to what I think it's important to do as a defensive player. They're fundamentals, and they're very aggressive fundamentals, which you can coach and critique and reiterate over and over again to your players to get them to the top of their game. And you don't have to have the most talented group to instill these three key points. But it's something that you can do repetitively, and it keeps them being very aggressive at all times. And they're the foundation, literally, of what you're doing. To break down those 3 T's a little bit fundamentally, tackling. To break it down, we want to talk about knee bend. We want to do a great job of bending our knees. We want to have great pad level. We want to have great eyes. We have to have great eyes and great vision point on our tackling. Where's the focal point of our eyes when we're tackling? We have to have hips. We want to explode and roll through, have the hips, and we want to finish with the arms and the feet. We want to finish with the arms and the feet. And again, our goal is not to have the big explosive tackle all the time, but to grab cloth and to get in position where we get the ball carrier on the ground. You as a coach want to continually critique these drills and make sure you do a great job in practice of correcting and getting things pushed in the right direction at all times, so that if you're getting a little lax in one area or the other, you can pull it back in and get them going back in the right direction, and it's easy to do in practice. You also want to do these drills and be able to stay on your feet. being able to stay on your feet keeps you moving and playing football defensively the way you need to be able to play it. Third down. It's so important to have a breakdown of the opponent of what they're trying to do on third down. It's the most critical down in a football game. It's generally where games are won and lost, what you do on third down. And so you want to refine your plan down to really focus in on what the offense's plan is going to be and do a nice job so your players understand what the offense's attack's going to be and then what we're going to do to defend it. And keep the players aware of it. You can reiterate to them on the practice field. As you go into your third down period, you want to make sure that they're they want to be clued in, they want to be zeroed in on, that focused in on that target of what we're trying to get done and what the offense's attack is going to be. You want to practice the repetition of the down and distance in situations. Break those down and distances down to what fits for your particular program. You don't want to necessarily work on a lot of 3rd and 7 to 10s if you're playing more 3rd and 3 to 4s. So make sure that as you go through and evaluate your season and what's happening in your ball games, that you're focusing in on the particular down and distances that you're having reoccur in your ball game all the time, so that your players have a great feel that this is what's going to happen. If you're having an abnormal amount of 3rd and 1s, make sure you focus on 3rd and 1s, or 3rd and extra longs, 3rd and 10 pluses. Make sure you focus on that. What do they do? What are we going to do to try to defend it? And you need 1, 2, maybe 3 things at the most, and you're trying to work to that point and get good at those things. The personnel, what personnels do they use, and then the tendencies of that. That's the other important part. And you want to keep practicing it and eliminate the gray area that it takes to go into that. So that's a very, very important part, is eliminate that gray area, make it a reactive movement rather than always waiting for what happens and not knowing. We want to eliminate the gray area and make it very, very aggressive and reactive on defense. The last T is the takeaways. Our job, again, simply stated, get the ball back for the offense. By getting the football back enables your players to go over, slip Gatorade on the bench, put the ball back in your offense's hands where they can hopefully move it down the field as quick as possible. It eliminates, again, as I said earlier, your exposure out on the field to explosive plays. It gets you a chance to get off the field where they have the offense that you're playing has a limited chance to expose you out there, maybe an injury where you're playing with another player, etc., on down the line. And lastly, gives you an opportunity to control field position by taking the football away and doing a great job on third down. And with tackling, you can control the field position that occurs in the game. And every time, it's been documented, every time you can give your offense that ball closer to the midfield, the percentages of you scoring goes up 6 to 8, 10% every time you move it 5 yards closer to the midfield in order to get in that scoring area. So again, by controlling that, you also control field position. As we talk about the takeaways, the first area is stripping the quarterback or the ball carrier. By, first of all, getting better as a tackling football team, tackling with your arms, you'll see your number of your fumbles go up just like that. By doing it, executing that, bringing the hips, shooting the arms, and finishing, you'll see more balls going on the ground, which is your first area. When you get that second man in, when you get the pursuit that you have to have, the great pursuit that we talked about earlier, the relentless pursuit, all right, by getting the second man in where he's going in on the ball carrier and he's trying to rip and pull at the ball. The man from behind, you've got the ball carrier corralled, maybe a receiver down the field. The guy comes in from behind, he strips or pokes the ball up from behind. So we want to spend some time working on these drills and getting it done. And then lastly, stripping on the quarterback. Those counts as sacks as well. Everybody wants to sack the quarterback, but if I can strip the football on my way by as a quarterback, that does 2 for 1. That gets us an opportunity to get the football back and automatically counts as a sack. So I want to work hard at stripping the football when I'm around the quarterback. And by the key element there, more times than not, is taking that extra step that we talked about earlier. Take that extra step. As we get good at takeaways, we want to start practicing drills in order to scoop the football up and score. Because now we come in, we become an offensive team, and more importantly, those guys that were on offense probably don't tackle as well. And so it's a great opportunity for us to show off our athletic ability and our ability to take the football and turn it into an offensive play and either score or, again, change that field position for our offensive team and get an opportunity to go. We have to know whether we're in a traffic area situation in the game. Is it better to try and scoop it up and score? We always want to scoop it towards their goal line, or do we have to just get on it and recover? Because it's the end of a ball game, they've got the ball maybe down the red zone, whatever it is, situation where just getting the ball back is the most important thing, and where we have it really doesn't matter. We just have to get on the football and get around it, cover it up, and retain the football so our offense can go out and kill the game or have an opportunity to take it down and score. Once we have the football, we want to turn into an offensive team. We want to blocking, stay high, stay up, stay on our feet. We want to be relentless, and we want to hustle. We don't want to pass up people to block, but we never want to take a cheap shot and block somebody from behind or behind the ball carrier. Hustle out in front, be relentless, and use good judgment so that we get the football where we needed to have it and don't have us penalized and put back. One of the things that we have done, I think, has been a key to us getting better at taking the football away was a takeaway circuit, something that we used during our training camp, where we spend 5 minutes about every other practice or so, and we rotate through 4 stations, and we work on tip footballs, we work on stripping the football, we work on scooping the ball, recovering fumbles, and we work on stripping the quarterback. And you can use your imagination, come up with any kind of circuit, any way in order to do these drills, which is an excellent way for you to also get your guys warmed up, loosened up, and get both that work done as far as warming up and some good positive work towards football, and you don't have to wear them out to do it. And it's a good thing, and it's been something that's been very, very key to us. And again, our 4 drills that we use are recovering the fumble, strip and punching the ball out. We use a tip drill, and we use a quarterback strip drill, and we divide up by position. We have our defensive linemen, our linebackers, our DBs, all working through the same drills, and we have each coach try and tailor the drill somewhat to that position. And it's easy to do, and it's been something that's been very, very beneficial to our players, and something that gives us another conscious look at how do we take the football away. In order to be a little bit descriptive of what, again, it's easy to sit up here and it's kind of clinic talk when you sit up here and you talk about doing these things and you don't really have statistics or whatever to back it up. But what I wanted to at this point is, again, show you what again our focus is as far as the tackling, the third down, and the takeaways. Last year, overall, we were 30.1% in the regular season as far as the offense is converting third down against us, 34.1, which was in the top 5 defensively in the NFL. We give up 16 touchdowns, which again is a credit to our guys and how they tackle, and they do a great job of tackling. We've had very, very few explosive plays. We had 49 takeaways, which I said again led the NFL, which was excellent. That was 26 recovered fumbles and 23 interceptions, and we had 35 sacks. So those were very excellent stats. But what our guys then again is turned it up again in the postseason, which was important for us, and a focus point for us was to get better on third down. That's what we talked about during our off week. We talked about that as we went into the playoffs. In order to go far in the playoffs, you have to play great on third down. And so really going in and as we game plan, break down that opponent, focusing on what we want to do down and distance-wise, and have those defenses locked down and really focus in on that. And what we did on third down was win 80% of our third downs through the playoffs. We gave up 1 touchdown, all right, and we had 12 takeaways in 4 football games, so that would be 48 for the season, which is excellent. So again, our guys did an excellent job of turning up the dial and getting things to work on. That area in talking about your third downs and so forth, you want to know what is their focus, because that's the one thing, again, I think is always, coaches always ask about is how do you go in, what do you do on third down? You want to know what is their focus. What is their focus, run or pass, as you begin to game plan against any opponent? Normal play calling progression or things that you want to think about. What are the things that normally their play caller does? Is he creature habit, which most people are? You want to walk players through any adjustments that you have. You want to be sound with your eyes. It's important to take time, take good teaching time with your players. and then you want to share the information you have with your players. As coaches, we gather a lot of information. We know that each and every player can't take in as much information as the next, but what it enables us to do is there's maybe one person in there that can lock on to a certain tidbit of information and maybe retain it, and he'll pass it on to somebody, and it'll be an important issue on Sunday. So don't be afraid to give your players some information. You don't want to overload them, but don't be afraid to put it out there, and you know which ones can handle more of the information you give them. As you focus in on how you're going to put your plan together, make sure, again, like I said earlier, that you really go down and you work on the downs and the distances that you're having an opportunity to play in your football games. It's important that you practice enough calls for your first down, your second and long, second and mediums, second and short. What do they do? What do you want to do? Third and long, third and medium, third and short, backed up, red zone, 2-minute, 4-minute, etc. All those things. Break it down, take the time, be diligent as a coach, and spend the time, because it's going to pay dividends for you and your players down the road, because it's going to make them have a better understanding of the opponent right from the start. And you want to go back and evaluate your season, or in your season, evaluate your last 3 or 4 games. How many 1st and 10s are we having? How many third downs? And making sure that you're practicing the right repetition of what you're getting done. If you're playing an abnormal amount of goal line plays, make sure you move your focus to that. And so don't be afraid as a coach to adjust and really pay attention to the things that you're having to pay attention to on the field, and it'll help you win football games. To sum up where we were, winning the 3 T's, again, tackling, it's the judge of any great defensive football team is how they tackle. And it takes the knee bend, the ability to squeeze the green away from the ball carrier, the movement and the flow and the rotation through the hips and the explosion of the eyes and the arms, and finish with the feet. Those are the things you're looking for. Third down, again, the focus point as we've talked about, and then taking the football away. Every chance we get, take the extra step and take the football away. And the last thing, I think, in order to play great defense at whatever level it is, you want to outwork them and out-hit them each and every day. You can outwork them, outrun them, and out-hit them each and every day, and that's maybe the most important part of playing defense. At this time, I'd like you to take some time, and I've given a couple video shots of some of the things we've talked about here today. I want you to get a great feel of the tackling, the pursuit, the relentlessness of playing defense. Also, I want to show you some shots of stripping the football, whether it be the ball carrier or around the quarterback. And these principles that we've talked about today, which are so important, and what it takes to be a great defensive football team. And I think these will be very enjoyable for you to watch. This play here shows a good defensive pattern. Good job here spilling the football. Guys in good pad level, square to the line of scrimmage, and great pursuit is what I wanted to show here, as well as the wrap-up tackling. But the pursuit, 11 guys finishing at the football, good pattern, everybody down, pads down, and then everybody finishing at the football. This play again here, the ball's going to get bounced to the outside. It's again a good pattern of defensive pursuit. We get the ball spilled where we want, and then being able to run it down and make an open field tackle. As you see the play from the end zone, again you can see the adjustment of the defense stemming into it. Again, the ball spilled to the outside, and then running in the inside out angles of our pursuit and the tackling, and again 11 guys to the ball. Good job there defending third down. In this particular play, we have a spread set. You can see the receiver working underneath, and again, an excellent job of wrap-up tackling by our safety here on the wide receiver coming underneath. Again, eliminating yards after catch is a key element with your tackling. This play again here will be a running play. Again, the ball will get spilled and kicked to the outside. The key elements here again are the change of the line of scrimmage, the defensive pattern of good force pursuit, and then a great job of using the arms and finishing with the hips and wrap up and tackling. Again, a great pattern here with the ball carrier. We want the ball to work back to the backside. We got everybody in their gap where they belong. Good block protection and great job of wrap up and hit and tackling. We got to do a little better job of wrapping up in the hole and finishing. But it's a good pattern of defensive pursuit. This particular play here, again, you're going to see a little bit of a stunt move to the inside. Again, the ball spilled to the outside, and again, good angles over the top, and again, a great job of wrapping up and tackling through. Again, a very good job, interior line play. Good job, again, the defensive linemen don't get an opportunity to make a lot of tackles, but here's a good instance where they end up being the free defender, and he comes through and wraps up and hits, brings his hips and finishes and makes a great tackle. Again, the ball working to the outside, a great job of block protection, leverage, and great wrap-up tackle on the outside perimeter there by number 38. You can watch the block protection there, good leverage, good outside in, good wrap-up tackle there by number 38. This particular play is going to be a flare screen. You're going to see the linebacker working inside out with his coverage, get good leverage in the force position, and then number 52 coming inside out making a great tackle. Again, you'll see the force done by 51. The ball's leveraged, outside in, inside out, good wrap-up tackle. The guy 52 is a pretty good player. Now in these plays, this play will be a little bit more now talking about stripping the football. Again, we talked about using the arms and tackling, and here's a good illustration by number 35, using his arms, doing a great job of tackling, wrapping up the receiver. Okay, and then actually it's number 45, wrapping up, and then the ball's on the ground, number 35 scooping it up, and then again becoming an offensive player. Now we become the offense, and we want to block out in front, be relentless with our blocking, and return the football as best we can. You see it good from the end zone. Good wrap-up tackle by number 45. You can see the arms used in there, the strip of the football, 35 scooping it up, and now we become the offensive team. Great block there by 58, 20. Got a chance to improve and change field position. On this next play, you're going to see number 20 blitz off the edge. It's going to be, again, another little screen. He's going to retrace his steps. Great job of stripping the football from behind. Good job of catching it ball in the air by number 26. Again, 20 off the edge. Turn, retrace your steps. Good leverage, good force. There's the strip from behind. Ball is out. Our ball going the other way. One of the other areas we talked about was stripping the quarterback. This is going to be a good job by number 51, rushing out outside right. Good pass rush move versus the back, and the strip of the quarterback while in the pocket, ball out, fumble, and you have a chance to take the football away. Change field position right there. Instead of a punt from that position, we get a first down going the other way and changes the dimensions of the game. This one is going to be a great illustration of the quarterback, again, out of the pocket. Great job of number 58 rushing off the left edge here and then coming back around and stripping the quarterback as he tackles using his arms. Again, I'd like to thank you for taking the time and you taking the time to view this video. I hope again that there's something that you can take out of this video and been able to use within your own football program, your development of your game plan, and something that will help your players play better during your games. Tackling, takeaways, and third down, I think, are the key to great defensive football, and they've been the key to our success here in Baltimore. Thank you very much.